So thank you very much for this interview. I would like to, if you can introduce yourself for all the Spanish public to know you, and tell us about your experiences.
Sure. My name is Ileana, the Star Traveler, and I am a secret space program asset. I no longer work for the secret space program, planetary corporations on the Mars basis. My 60 and back quantum leap time travel service ended in 2014. So I've been out of the programs for almost 10 years. But the way this all started was in 2014, I was having my laparoscopic hysterectomy surgery, right? And after that surgery, I started remembering working in the cybernetics labs on Mars as the cybernetics technician. I was making all these different types of biological drug serums. I was working with plasma therapies to acclimate SSP assets to coming to work on Mars. So basically Mars, half of its atmosphere was stripped 500,000 years ago with an energy beam weapon. So its surface was scarred and the atmosphere was almost gone. So the way the secret space programs were able to create bases on Mars is to have electromagnetically shielded domes around the bases so that the atmosphere doesn't leak out. So the bases have atmosphere, they have gravity, you know, they're just like our buildings, except more advanced. And they have the cybernetics labs where when you first come in to the planet, you go to the cybernetics lab and you get the plasma therapy treatment or some kind of something else for your body to work on Mars and to quickly acclimate to the environment. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't take years for the body to acclimate on its own. It only takes like 2-3 days with a plasma therapy or some other therapy. It depends on the person's body. I had autoimmune issues. So for my body, I needed the plasma therapy. So that's kind of the first memories that I got. And the other memories that I had was working with the regenerative medicine technologies, like the holographic medical pods that work on, again, plasma and crystalline technology. So they're both combined, and that creates the holographic medical pod, which can cure almost any type of disease. It can regenerate your DNA back to its organic, natural, healthy template, original DNA template. So it can fix any mutations, diseases genetically. It can regrow limbs, body parts. It can also heal traumatic memories and wounds, anything that, you know, burns, stuff like that, it can fix, regenerate tissues, skin. And there's also the regeneration tanks that do similar things, where you're placed inside the tank that has the green goo, the blue goo, different kinds of healing goos, and it can regenerate the body, could heal memories, trauma, brain injuries, and it could keep you in stasis to heal. So those are the things that I remember of regenerative medicine, and that's what I worked with on Mars. I also remember being on the moon and lunar space operations on their huge base, which is run by the US military and Navy. And this base has 32 levels. Again, it has the dome type of structure, and it has 4 different attachments to the base. So it's very circular, and it's attached by corridors and tunnel systems on the surface of the moon. And there's a lot of personnel there, SSP assets and other human personnel working there to get accustomed to dealing with extraterrestrials. Because when you first start working in the SSP, you're sent to the moon, most often to the moon, to get training on what it's like to live in space, because the moon is the closest thing to Earth. So it's easy to transport a person through a TR-3B or TR-6, TR-10, or beam them off the planet itself, because they, through the quantum leap time travel technology, they have the jump beam portal hubs on most of the bases, so they could just beam you out from your home and nobody would notice. So there's several different ways of transporting people to the moon and Mars. It depends what type of job you'll be doing. But the moon is the first stop for most SSP assets to get acclimated to working in space, to learn what it's like to be in space, to see the moon, and to be trained on what type of ETs you might meet during your work, because most people do encounter extraterrestrials, the humanoid looking ones, when they're out in space.
What types of ETs do you work with?
I worked with Nordics. I worked with reptilian insectoid ETs. They were hybrids, so they weren't fully the original ETs, because planetary corporations on their Mars bases, they have hybrids that often work with the human personnel. So I remember working with Nordics and an individual named Zagor, who's a reptilian insectoid hybrid. So he was kind of my liaison to be introduced to working on Mars and off-world as well. Dark Fleet, Nachtwaffenreger, which is, some say it's a German faction. When I was working with them, they have now multiple people from different countries that work with them. So it's not just German anymore. That's kind of, they've upgraded and they have more people from different countries.
Okay, so you said that you recovered all these memories because of a surgery.
Well, the surgery was sort of the key factor that improved my health, to make me healthier and to be able to concentrate on healing. And I already had these bits of memories because I had done hypnosis. I had studied hypnosis and past life regression. So I already had the core foundation. But since these memories were coming back in bits and pieces after the surgery, it became more clear. So through the hypnosis, I started to put together a timeline when everything happened with the secret space program, because I've also had experiences with ET contacts. I've met Andromedans, I've met the L race, I've met the Pleiadians, Nordics. So I've had experiences outside the secret space program. And I've had multiple different experiences in life. So I just wanted to know what was the ET stuff and what was the secret space program stuff. That's why I started to actually do the hypnosis work, because I was trained by a shaman named Leonard Howell, who's since passed away, but he taught me the past life stuff, the hypnosis, doing the shamanic journeying. So he taught me quite a few different modalities, how to access your memories and how to sort out these things, to put it in chronological order so that you know what came first and what came second, third, you know, how to organize your experiences to something that's understandable.
So what do you think you were selected to be a member of the secret space program?
It's because of my psychic abilities, or psionic abilities, as some people call it, and my past life experiences and memories as extraterrestrials, because I have knowledge from past lives, what regenerative medicine is, advanced ships, crystalline ships, technologies, different planets, what's on the planet. So that's why I was put into the secret space program, particularly the cybernetics labs, to work with regenerative medicine and nanotechnology.
And have you been abducted at what age?
I was abducted by reptilians from the ages of 2 to 10. The Black Drazzo reptilians and the Sharab Invictus. And this was when I was living in the Ukraine. I was born in the Ukraine, and they took me into underground bases under Rostov, which is another city. It's separate from Ukraine. So I was taken into the underground tunnels. Again, my immune system was compromised by these reptilians. they poisoned my blood, they ruined my immune system, and this was done through injecting me with nanites, which is nano little particles that go that are injected dermally or into the blood. They were injected into my blood, felt like my blood was boiling. And after that, I was really sick with different viruses all the time. And actually, the hysterectomy helped to remove these nanites because they were mostly in my uterus and my cervix. So once that was removed, the nanites were gone. And that was like years later when I was a grown-up. So I've had reptilian abductions since I was very young.
So that experiences were really traumatic, or you don't remember it so much?
Oh no, I remember it through the hypnosis. Yeah. When I was in those tunnel systems and underground bases under Rostov, I saw children in cages and being chained to the walls of the cavern systems. And the reptilians were doing horrible things to these kids. I saw, and the human personnel weren't doing nothing to help those kids. So reptilians often abduct children and do horrible experiments on them. They keep them in cages, chained up. Sometimes they kill them, they eat them, or they drain their blood and do horrible things with that. So that's what I saw happening. They weren't able to kill me. They tried so many times, but for some reason I have a strong will to survive and live. So they couldn't kill me. They only could injure me.
How is an experience of an abduction? Because you were abducted physically. You were transported physically to the underground. So you were some time there and then go back to your bed, or how was it? Yeah.
So what I remember is a black portal opening up in my room and them coming through the shrub, the black drowser shrub, reptilians, and they're like 14, 16 feet tall, black gray reptilians. There's different types of reptilians. Some are green, some are brown, some are gray black. These were gray black, and they had gargoyle-like faces and reptilian snouts. So that's why they're called the black drowser reptilians. And they would come through this black portal. It would open up energetically in my room. There would be 2, 3 of them. They would take me out of my bed, lead me through the portal system, down underground to a totally different city outside of Ukraine. And we would go through the underground cavern systems to the base. And it's I call them the dumb spaces because humans do work with reptilians, and they have trade agreements. So you can take so many humans and do experiments on it, and you can use our space for it. And we get technology, we get your nanotechnology, we get your ships, access to that stuff. So those are the trade agreements they have with reptilians. So that's how I would be taken from my room through the dark portal. Then I would be returned after they did the blood experiments on me. I would be returned the same way to my bedroom. And I would just have nightmares about this, like black beings coming into my room, seeing black crows. Of course, to a young child, you can't interpret really what you're seeing until you're actually a grown-up and understand through the hypnosis, like what this was. There wasn't any black crows. That's what the portal, how I interpreted the portal as black crows flying in, swarming in, the portal opening up. So I understood what that was through the hypnosis, and seeing the black shadow beings. Those were the reptilians, the black drowser ones.
Is this race doing the same things nowadays, or?
I'm not sure if they're doing that or not, because I haven't been abducted after the 10 years old. They stopped the abductions.
What do you think they stopped?
Because they did the damage to my immune system, and they created the toxicity. They poisoned my blood. So the damage was done. Their experiments were completed. They didn't kill me, but they traumatized me, and my health was horrible since I was a kid. I've been able to fix a lot of what they did by doing plasma therapy, immunoglobulin plasma therapy. And the the reason how the plasma works, it resets the immune system, and it also helps to kind of put the autoimmune disorders into remission. So that's what I've been able to do. And I got this information about the medical stuff through the hypnosis of what I was doing in the cybernetics labs on Mars. And I was able to fix my health and undo what the reptilians did to me. So that's how I've been able to help heal myself. And these plasma treatments, they're, it's from blood products, human blood products, and it's part of the normal medical system here on Earth, traditional medical system. I just happen to have a lot of medical information in my brain because I had the cybernetics Neuralink implants in my brain until 2017 when they malfunctioned, and I had to do psychic surgery on myself to remove them, working with the Calypsira ETs, which are Pleiadian Greys hybrids. And they helped me to create a psychic roadmap to do the psychic surgery with a bunch of symbols and energy. And I used that to remove the 4 implants in my brain.
The medical technology that you learned in Mars or in another planets, do you think we will get that information sometime, or?
Well, I think that'll happen in 100 years from now to 300 years. I mean, there's a lot of different information coming out. Different people are seeing different things. The way I understand that technology is not accessible to us right now on Earth. Planetary corporations had no intentions of releasing this to the humans anytime soon when I was working there and now. So I come from that perspective. So if this technology was to be suddenly released right now, I would have to see it to believe it. I would have to see it myself and to verify that it's that particular technology. So I call it the holographic medical pods. Some people call it the med beds. I mean, right now there's many different sources saying this stuff is coming out soon. We'll have it in 2 years, 5 years, this and that. I ask people to use discernment and to look at the sources whose information this is coming from. So far, nothing has been released in September. Nothing is here physically. So once I see it, I'll believe it, and I'm not being doom and gloom. I'm just looking at things from reality point of view. I don't see it anywhere on Earth. Nobody has access to it, so it's not here yet. From my information, from the planetary corporation's perspective, their plans was to release it 100 years to 300 years from now. That's their timeline. I'm not sure what the ETs are doing or other groups, if they have plans for it to come out earlier, great. But from my understanding and perspective, it's not available now and won't be anytime soon.
Have you seen ETs working with sound therapies or crystals?
Yes, the Andromedans and the L-rays, they taught me how to work with energy vibration to do energy healing. That's what they had taught me. And also the crystalline technologies and crystals. So yes, I have seen them work with it. And also the Arcturians are really good energy healers. They taught me the mind-body balance equation. When you balance your mind and the body, because both is 50-50, this is what helps to improve physical health and mental health. Both have to be in balance, 50-50, to be healthy mentally and physically. And it's always take the time for self-care, because the body is constantly being bombarded by everything externally in society, what's going on outside us. So taking time out for self-care, for healing, energy healing, vitamin supplements, meditation, relaxation, walking outside, grounding with the earth, touching the trees, and getting positive energy. Those are the things that are so important for us to be healthy and healed, physically and emotionally and vibrationally. And that's what the ETs taught me. It's the finding your joy and finding your bliss and happiness in life, your purpose. What are you supposed to be doing here? What makes you happy? What drives your creativity? What inspires you? This gives purpose and meaning to life. So that's what the ATs taught me.
And what's your purpose here?
My purpose was originally to come to this planet, incarnate in a human body, and rescue someone that had been trapped here by the Mottrie Greys 2 million years ago during Atlantis. That mission I've done. The Andromedans, Pleiadians came and saved this person. I contacted them. They took the person off planet. They're safe. So that was the only purpose I had to come to this planet. I didn't have anything else to do here. So I created my own purpose of enjoying life, of healing, of figuring out all of these memories and experiences that I've had, and to just live my life as authentically as I possibly can while I'm here.
Are you happy here?
Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. It depends on the situation. I try to be as happy as I can. I try to work constantly every day on the self-care, on balancing my mental state and my physical body. But again, happiness is a state that we create for ourselves. Sometimes we're happier, sometimes not so much. Depends on what's going on in life. I just try to look at it from a simplistic point of view. My happiness is what I make of it, and I create it for myself. Nobody has the power to make me unhappy. I'm the one who can make myself happy and work on that, and therefore I can be happy. And if I'm not feeling happy, I look at what I can do to change that and be positive, to tap into positive vibration, to create that harmony in myself. If I ever want to be in contact with the secret space programs, planetary corporations, lunar space operations, I can telepathically communicate with anyone there. And sometimes I do with a cybernetics technician named Diara. I've asked her about certain things and she's given me answers, so I can contact anyone that I want. Do I want to go back to the secret space program and be in active service? No, I don't. I've done the 60 and back. I've experienced that. I don't want to go back there. It's not an easy life doing that type of stuff. And they can draw you back in, pull you in. I don't want to be involved in that. So I always say to people, be careful what you wish for, because if you still have access to those programs, they'll try anything they can to pull you back in. And that's not what I desire in this lifetime. I don't want to be walking between two worlds. I want to be grounded here in this life, in my current lifetime. I don't want to be drawn back into what happened in the 60 and back. I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm interested in a healthy soul growth for myself and for others. So I try to concentrate on the happiness and the healthiness of me in this life, being grounded here in the earth, here in the now.
Okay. You said you were in the moon, in Mars, and in another planet that you remember?
Yeah, I remember my primary service was on the moon and Mars. And I remember visiting many different planets and learning about civilizations and cultures and beings. That's something that I was allowed to do in the secret space program. So many different missions, many different things that I've done. When you serve 60 and back, right, through a quantum leap time travel program, you see quite a bit. So I've met dozens of different races, some friendly, some not so much, some negative, because when you're out in space, there's degrees of different beings, and they all have their agendas, some positive, some not so much, and some negative. So I was always careful when I met different species in engaging their intentions and who they are, what they do, why I'm sent on these missions. I got to learn about discernment quite a bit and reading different ETs' energies and human personnel energies, because I'm a psychic. So I read people's energies. I read ET's energies to see what their intentions are. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they somewhere in the middle? What do they want from us? Why are they here contacting us? those are the things I always look at when making contact with any being, whether human or ET. Why are you here? What is your energy? Do you vibrate on a high vibration or low vibration? And I only try to make contact with positive beings because I don't want low vibration for myself. I only want the highest, happiest vibration when working with anyone, making contact or working with humans. You know, positive, high vibration. You want to surround yourself with beautiful beings and people who are spiritually on a growth, on the highest growth energetically as they can be, uplifting, happy, decent, beautiful, honest people. That's what I like in life, to work with those types of beings and people.
Is there any suggestion you can do for the people that want to connect with the star family and don't know how to do it?
Energetically, the way you make the connections is to find out the name of the being that you're connecting with, star origin, Pleiadian, Arcturian, where do you come from? So those are the first things to know. What dimension they're on, who they are, their names, their energy frequency. That's the first thing you want to know when you're connecting with star families. And you want to be able to have your psychic abilities open, your third eye, your pineal gland, your pituitary gland. Those things need to be healthy in order to make contact. So eating healthy foods, drinking healthy water, you know, like spring mineral water, organic foods, gluten-free, GMO-free. You want your human body vessel temple to be clean. And that's what helps to decalcify the pineal gland and having the third eye open to be healthy and energetically vibrate on a higher level. So this is what you want to have first as your base to be healthy in order to make positive contact. That's my own personal experience with it, and developing your psychic abilities, like learning how to open the third eye through meditation, through Kundalini flow energy, eating healthy, sleeping well, having positive mind, body, soul vibration balance. Those are all the things that I did first before making ET contact and with my soul family, like learning who is the soul family and then making contact with them. So this was my life path and how I did it. Maybe other people do it differently, but being positive, high vibrational, and having the body, mind stuff healthy, that's very important to be able to have the pineal and the third eye open.
Do you think it's important to heal all the ancestral problems we will have with our family in order to be able to be coherent with ourselves and then try to connect with subtle worlds? Because if we are not healing our density here, maybe it's difficult to connect with something that you don't see. Or
yeah, of course. I believe that healing the ancestral stuff is very important with the ancestors that have passed on with living people who are in our lives. The more we heal that stuff, the more we are energetically balanced, physically, vibrationally, and we release the trauma. We do the shadow work. That's the shadow work, like, you know, releasing the dark side of the soul. Part of that is doing the ancestral healing and the healing with the people who are here and alive with us in our family as well. Because once you heal everything that's in the physical body and emotionally, you're a pure vessel. You're a clean body template. You're clean, you're open vibrationally to the spiritual things, to the higher form vibration, to make contact with ETs, because you can also make contact with other interdimensional beings, people who have passed on, spirit guides, totem animals, you know, all kinds of guides, the angelics, interdimensionals, extraterrestrials. There's more out there than just ETs. There's so many positive beings. There's the elemental beings, there's the dragons, so many wonderful beings to connect to your higher selves or self, because they're part of us as well. So there's so many vibrant beings to connect with.
Yes. Yeah. Is there any message you want to give all the Spanish public that is listening to you?
Concentrate on your happiness, on living your highest spiritual growth, being happy, being healthy, being positive. We need the positive light right now in everything that's going on. Just live your life to your fullest. Concentrate on the good things happening in your life, on the positivity, on your creativity, your inner soul growth, your inner happiness, because when you're internally balanced, you're also externally well balanced. And emotions have a lot to do with happiness and a healthy body physically. So just continue to work on yourselves to be your best in life, to be happy, because external stuff, if you don't let it affect you internally, it won't, because you create your positive timeline and happiness. Nobody else can take that away from you ever, no matter what.
Can you tell us about your work with people? Are you offering therapies, readings?
I do energy healings. I do psychic readings. I do galactic soul readings. So I'm right now, it's like I have available sessions for next year, for June, July, and onwards, because I'm really busy doing that stuff. So, but I do those types of sessions. So if anybody is interested, they can always have a look at my website, Messages from a Star Traveler. Okay. Like I said, I do have a busy schedule right now. So if they ever want, they could do sessions for next year. Since I'm already doing the work right now.
Yes. What is the therapy that helped you most? Regression, past lives? What is the therapy that make you evolve?
Well, it was studying to be a Native American shaman. That was the first thing that helped me to understand the mind-body connection. What it really means to be grounded living on this world, respecting people and nature and animals. So that's what I started off with. Then I started learning the energy healing, the crystal healing, the magic, the white light magic, Wicca, then the Akashic records. So what helped me the most was those things, and also hypnosis and past life regression, to understand what all my experiences were and why that happened to me. Because once you understand what that is, releasing the trauma was number one with the reptilians, some of the darker stuff in the secret space program, healing that trauma. Once that was healed, it just helped me to have energetic and physical release to be what I am now, to be healthier, to be happier, working through all those things, actually doing the work. That's what helped.
Do you feel alone with this when you discovered all this information? Or do you find another people that passed the same things that you lived while you were in the secret space program?
There was never anybody physically around me that went through the same things, like my family or friends, but my family and friends are all very spiritual and understanding. So even though we're different, they're willing to listen to the experiences and the stories. And I'm willing to listen to what they're going through. So I choose to be around highly vibrational, beautiful, healthy-minded, open-minded people. So I always choose to be around people who are good and positive and nice and understanding and open-minded. So if I choose to be around those types of people, they will understand no matter what. I don't choose to associate with skeptical, negative people. I don't want to vibrate on that level. I vibrate on a positive, healthy attitude level, and on people who are open-minded to sharing experiences, no matter if it's secret space program or something else. As long as the people are lovely and nice and open to listen to what you went through, and you're open to listen to what they went through and are going through, it's mutual reciprocation. of sharing ideas, of listening to each other, to your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to connect with like-minded people. And when you do that, it doesn't matter what the experience is. As long as the person is open-minded to listening to you and to sharing with you, that's what's important here.
Mm-hmm.
To add to this,
yes.
I did meet like-minded people who were in the Secret Space program later on. I did meet these people. I've interviewed some of them: Penny Bradley, Tony Rodriguez, Anthony Zender, so many vibrant, beautiful people, Randy Kramer, Michael Jaco. These people have all been in the Secret Space program, and I've done interviews with them. I've talked to them, shared the experiences. So there's a lot of beautiful, vibrant people, SSP assets out there who've gone through all this stuff and who would understand all this information as well. So, you know, we as a community are here, and we choose to share our experiences so that other people can understand this stuff if they've gone through similar things or other things. And we've all had ET contacts and abductions as well, not just the Secret Space program stuff. So there are healthy people in these communities who you can share your stuff with if you want. But I honestly think do your inner healing, do your inner work, look within yourself first to figure out what is this stuff that you've gone through, and find safe and healthy people that you can share it with, the open-minded people. And us, of course, because the communities are here. As long as people are willing to be open-minded and positive, that's the people you want to associate with, because they'll be the ones that are understanding and open-minded towards this and are non-judgmental. You don't want to be connecting with people who judge. That's not fun. You want to connect with like-minded, beautiful souls who are here to help and here to listen and reciprocate the understanding and the compassion and the love.
Okay, thank you very much, Ileana. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk to you today.
For me too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope we'll meet someday. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.